Most people think they can tell exactly who someone is just by looking at their clothes, their shoes, or the way they walk into a room. But one manager learned the hard way that appearances can be the biggest lie of all, because one quiet morning, an old man walked into a bank wearing a faded jacket, carrying a small envelope, and the manager laughed in his face. He didn't know the truth. He didn't know who was standing right in front of him, and he didn't know how that one moment would change everything. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to True Story Tales for more real, emotional, and inspiring stories. Make sure to like the video, leave a comment sharing what kindness means to you, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new upload. It was a chilly Thursday morning in a small town just outside Denver. The bank lobby smelled of fresh coffee and printer ink, and the soft hum of counting machines echoed through the room. Customers waited quietly in line while bank employees greeted them with polished smiles. But when the door opened and Mr. Warren stepped inside, that polite atmosphere shifted. He wasn't dressed like the other customers. His jacket was worn at the elbows, his shoes were dusty, and his hands, rough and wrinkled, held onto a simple white envelope. He walked slowly, as though every step cost him a bit of strength. Most people didn't notice him, but the manager did. Her name was Lydia. She was sharp, efficient, and proudly known as someone who didn't waste time on people who weren't serious. The kind of manager who judged a person by their appearance before they ever said a word. As she watched the old man move toward the teller line, she shook her head and whispered to one of her employees, another one coming to ask for free coffee or a penny balance check. The employee didn't respond. She just looked uncomfortable. Mr. Warren reached the counter and spoke softly. "Ma'am, I wanted to check my balance, please." The teller, a young woman named Erin, smiled kindly. "Of course, sir. I can help you with that." But before she could take his envelope, Lydia swooped over. No, she said, waving her hand. "I'll handle this one." Erin frowned. "But I said I'll handle it." The whole lobby grew tense. Lydia looked at the old man with a smirk. "You want to check your balance?" she said loudly enough for others to hear. "If you really have a balance, I'll pay you double." A few customers glanced over. Some looked amused. Some looked embarrassed for him. Mr. Warren simply blinked. He didn't get angry. He didn't call her rude. He just handed her the envelope. "I'd appreciate it," he said gently, "if you could check." Lydia let out a short laugh. "All right then. Let's see what we have here. Maybe $5? 10? But when she tore open the envelope and pulled out the account slip, her smile froze. Her face drained of color. Her hands started to tremble. Inside that envelope wasn't a balance inquiry. It wasn't a withdrawal slip. It was a letter, on official stationery. A letter bearing the signature of the bank's chief executive officer, Jacob Warren. The old man standing quietly in front of her wasn't a random elderly customer. He was the CEO. Her CEO. The CEO of the entire statewide bank chain. Her boss's boss's boss. She looked up at him, her voice suddenly weak. Mr. Warren?" He nodded with a warm, tired smile. "Yes, we haven't met. I'm visiting branches unannounced." Lydia swallowed hard. Sweat was forming at her forehead. She stepped back, unable to speak. The entire lobby was silent, but Mr. Warren didn't raise his voice. He didn't shame her. He didn't fire her on the spot, though he easily could have. Instead, he turned to Erin, the young teller who tried to help him. "You treated me with kindness," he said softly, "even when you didn't know who I was." "Thank you." Erin's cheeks flushed. "I just wanted to help." "Kindness," he said, "is never just kindness. It is a reflection of who you are." Then he looked at Lydia. Her eyes were already filling with fear. But Mr. Warren didn't lecture her. He didn't humiliate her. He simply asked, "Why did you assume I had no balance?" She stuttered through excuses. "Oh, I didn't mean, I thought you were, some customers." He raised his hand gently to stop her. "One question," he said, "and answer honestly." She nodded nervously. "If I had walked in wearing a tailored suit, would you have treated me the same?" Her lips tightened. She couldn't answer. Because everyone knew the truth. He sighed. "Your job," he said, "is not to judge who looks important. Your job is to treat every person with respect, every customer, every human being, regardless of clothes, age, or appearance." She lowered her eyes. "I understand." But the lesson wasn't finished. Mr. Warren turned to the whole lobby, his voice steady, warm, and full of meaning. "I grew up poor," he said. "My parents didn't have formal education. I wore hand-me-down clothes until I was nearly 30. If the world judged me only by what I looked like, I would never have become who I am today. People listened closely. Kindness, he continued, isn't just a nice thing, it's a responsibility. Especially when you work in a place that people trust with their life savings. Lydia whispered, I'm sorry. I know, he said, but apologies don't change habits, kindness does. He looked at the young teller again. What's your name? Aaron. Well, Aaron, he said with a smile, your kindness did not go unnoticed. He reached into his jacket and handed her a small card. It had his personal signature. I'd like you to apply for our internal leadership program. You have the heart for it. Aaron's eyes widened. Me? Really? Anyone can learn banking, he said. But kindness, that comes from within. The customers murmured with approval. Meanwhile, Lydia stood silently, feeling the weight of her choices. After speaking with the branch team privately, Mr. Warren came back out to the lobby to leave. As he walked to the door, he paused beside the same employee who looked uncomfortable earlier, the one Lydia had whispered to. He asked softly, Do you enjoy working here? She looked surprised. Yes, sir, mostly. Good, he said. Because places are only as good as the kindness inside them. You all deserve a workplace where respect is the standard. She nodded gratefully. Then he turned to leave. But before he walked out, he looked back at the entire room. Remember this, he said gently. The way you treat someone when you think they have nothing reveals everything about you. And then he stepped outside into the crisp Denver air. The lobby stayed quiet long after he was gone. Erin returned to her desk with renewed purpose. The customers waited with a bit more patience, and even Lydia, humbled and shaken, took a moment to breathe, realizing she needed to become someone better than she had been just minutes before. Kindness doesn't check bank balances, it doesn't judge clothes, it doesn't estimate worth based on what a person looks like. True kindness is simple, it is silent, it is powerful, and sometimes it changes the course of a person's life. We never know who we're talking to, we never know their journey, their struggles, or their hidden strength. But when we choose kindness, every time, without exception, we become part of the good in this world. So the next time you're in a hurry, the next time someone looks different, the next time you feel tempted to judge, choose kindness, because it always matters.